Fans are stunned, hearts are racing, and the internet can't stop buzzing because Common has finally broken his silence. And the truth about why he walked away from Jennifer Hudson is more shocking than anyone imagined. This isn't just another celebrity breakup. This is a story filled with secrets, betrayal, and a confession that has everyone questioning what really went on behind closed doors. For years, Common and Jennifer appeared to be the picture-perfect couple. Their red carpet appearances, their warm smiles, and the way they talked about each other in interviews made fans believe they had found something rare in the entertainment industry: real love. But now, Common's unexpected reveal has shattered that image, leaving fans scrambling for answers. What did Jennifer do or fail to do that pushed him to his breaking point? And why is he choosing to expose it now, when the world least expected it? Insiders claim there were heated fights, emotional ultimatums, and even accusations of betrayal that no one outside their inner circle ever heard about until now. So buckle up, because this isn't just a love story gone wrong. This is a dramatic unraveling that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about their romance. Fans, prepare yourselves, the truth is about to get messy. Common and Jennifer's relationship had always seemed like the fairy tale romance everyone dreamed about, but behind that polished surface were cracks that no one wanted to see. People close to them whispered about differences, but the couple always denied the rumors. Jennifer would flash her radiant smile at events, Common would drop affectionate words in interviews, and fans ate it up. But now, with Common finally exposing why he left, everything looks different. The story begins months before their public split, when subtle tensions started building in ways that even friends couldn't ignore. According to insiders, Common started to feel as though he was living in Jennifer's shadow. She was soaring high with her television projects, concerts, and endorsements, while Common was struggling to balance his own career as an artist and actor. The imbalance began to sting. "You don't even see me anymore, Jen," he reportedly told her during one heated argument. Those words didn't come out of nowhere. They were the result of weeks of feeling sidelined, like his voice was lost in the noise of her achievements. Jennifer, on the other hand, allegedly fired back, insisting she was carrying the weight of the relationship and doing everything to keep them relevant as a power couple. The tension wasn't just about fame. Friends revealed that their private disagreements often escalated into marathon fights about priorities. Common wanted stability, a sense of normalcy, and more time away from the spotlight. Jennifer, meanwhile, thrived on the public eye, on being admired and celebrated. She loved the red carpets, the performances, the headlines, and Common? He wanted quiet dinners at home, private vacations, and space to breathe. This clash of lifestyles started eating at their bond like termites gnawing at the foundation of a house. But what truly shocked fans were the allegations that Jennifer began to question Common's loyalty. She was said to have gone through his phone one night after noticing his growing distance and found a series of messages with someone described as a longtime friend. Though nothing scandalous was confirmed, the messages hinted at emotional intimacy, someone he trusted enough to confide in when his relationship with Jennifer felt too heavy. "So you run to her when you can't handle me?" Jennifer reportedly screamed during a confrontation, tears streaming down her face. Common tried to explain that it wasn't betrayal, but comfort. He needed a place where he could be vulnerable without judgment. This emotional wedge only grew deeper. Family members started noticing the shift too. Jennifer's relatives, who once adored Common, began questioning his intentions. Whispers filled family dinners, with some accusing him of not being strong enough for a woman of Jennifer's stature. Meanwhile, Common's close friends defended him, saying he was simply trying to preserve his own identity in a relationship that constantly overshadowed him. Fans, of course, picked up on the subtle signs long before the breakup was official. Their public appearances grew fewer. Jennifer attended events alone more often. When they were photographed together, the warmth seemed staged, the smiles slightly forced. Tabloids began speculating, asking if the dream couple was crumbling. Still, no one could have guessed just how explosive the reasons behind their split would be once Common finally let the truth spill. The most shocking twist came during one intense fight, when Common allegedly confessed something he had kept bottled up for months. He told Jennifer he felt like she never truly let him in, that even in their most intimate moments, there was a wall between them. "You love the idea of us, Jen, not me," he reportedly said. Those words cut deeper than anything else because, for Jennifer, being accused of loving an image rather than a person was devastating. She prided herself on being genuine, on showing the world her authentic self. To hear the man she loved claim otherwise shattered her. The emotional toll was enormous. Insiders say Jennifer locked herself away for days, refusing to take calls or attend meetings. Her team scrambled to cover for her absence, while Common retreated into his own world, focusing on music as an escape. The once inseparable pair now existed in two separate realities, each nursing their wounds while fans remained blissfully unaware of the storm brewing. But this wasn't the end. What pushed the relationship past the point of no return was an incident that left both of them humiliated. At a private gathering with industry friends, tension bubbled to the surface when someone jokingly asked when they'd finally tie the knot. Common reportedly laughed nervously and said, "Marriage isn't in the cards for us right now." Jennifer, who had been holding back her frustrations for months, snapped in front of everyone. "Because you can't commit to anything," she shot back, her voice shaking. The room fell silent. Friends watched in disbelief as years of unspoken resentment spilled out in a few heated sentences. From that night on, the trust was gone. Common and Jennifer could no longer pretend. Their love story, once admired by millions, had become a battlefield of accusations, hurt feelings, and broken promises. The fallout was brutal, with friends forced to take sides and fans left divided over who was truly to blame. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more chaotic, a new revelation surfaced, one that dragged both of them deeper into the public eye than ever before. The revelation that came after their humiliating argument at the private gathering shook their circle to its core. It wasn't just about commitment anymore, it was about secrets. A close friend of Jennifer's claimed that Common had been keeping things from her for years. Little truths that could have changed the entire dynamic of their relationship if they had been brought into the light sooner. One particular secret, whispered by insiders, involved an old flame. Apparently, Common had rekindled conversations with someone from his past, not in a romantic way, but in a way that Jennifer felt was emotional betrayal. The moment she found out, the house they shared turned into a war zone. Jennifer confronted him in the kitchen late at night, her voice trembling with rage. "How long were you planning to hide this from me?" she demanded, slamming her phone on the counter with screenshots of the conversations glowing on the screen. Common, caught off guard, tried to explain that it wasn't cheating, that it was nothing more than nostalgia. But Jennifer wasn't buying it. "You don't get to use nostalgia as an excuse to disrespect me," she snapped, her voice echoing through the halls. The fight spiraled, with both of them hurling accusations that had been building up for months. Common accused Jennifer of being controlling, of suffocating him with expectations. Jennifer fired back, saying she felt neglected, that his need for space felt more like rejection. What made this fight different from all the others was the finality in their voices. This wasn't just another disagreement, it was the kind of argument that left scars. Friends close to the couple said this was the breaking point, the night when they both realized that love wasn't enough to hold them together anymore. Still, the drama didn't end there. The fallout spread beyond their home, dragging their families deeper into the mess. Jennifer's sister reportedly called Common a coward, saying he had no right to lead her on if he never planned to fully commit. Common's mother, on the other hand, defended her son fiercely, claiming he was doing his best to navigate a relationship that was constantly under public scrutiny. The family divide grew uglier by the day, with private family dinners turning into heated debates about who was really at fault. The public caught wind of the tension when fans noticed Jennifer unfollowing Common on social media, deleting photos of them together and posting cryptic quotes about betrayal and self-worth. One post in particular sent shockwaves. "Never confuse love with loyalty, one can exist without the other." Fans immediately speculated that this was aimed at Common, and the comment sections exploded with opinions. Some defended Jennifer, saying she deserved better, while others insisted Common had been pushed too far. Meanwhile, Common began pouring his emotions into his music. In a leaked snippet of a track he was working on, fans thought they heard lyrics that mirrored his struggles with Jennifer. "She loved the spotlight more than the man behind it," he rapped in one verse, and social media went into a frenzy, dissecting every word. Was this his way of finally speaking his truth? Was he blaming Jennifer for the downfall of their relationship? Jennifer, not one to stay silent, reportedly confronted him over the lyrics. "So now I'm just a song to you?" she shouted during another argument, feeling humiliated that their private pain was becoming public art. Common defended himself, saying it was his only outlet, that music was how he processed the chaos in his life. But to Jennifer, it was betrayal layered on betrayal, airing their dirty laundry for the world to consume. The drama spilled over into their professional lives too. There were whispers that producers and networks grew hesitant to book them together for projects, fearing the tension would disrupt filming. One insider claimed that during a rehearsal for a joint event, the two refused to even look at each other, creating an icy atmosphere that unsettled everyone in the room. What had once been a picture-perfect couple had become a cautionary tale of what happens when love collides with pride, ambition, and unspoken resentments. As the weeks went on, the bitterness only deepened. Jennifer started stepping out with a new confidence, flaunting glamorous outfits and flashing her smile for the cameras. But those close to her said it was a mask. Behind the scenes, she was still broken, struggling to reconcile how the man she thought would be her forever had turned into someone she barely recognized. Common, too, tried to maintain an image of calm, giving philosophical interviews about growth and learning from pain, but his eyes told another story. Friends said he would sit alone in his studio late at night, replaying voicemails from Jennifer, unable to delete them even as he told himself it was time to move on. But just when fans thought the saga was finally winding down, a shocking twist reignited the fire. Rumors began circulating that Common had been spotted having dinner with a well-known actress, someone he'd worked with in the past. Paparazzi photos surfaced, and though nothing intimate was captured, the internet erupted. Jennifer's fans accused him of moving on too fast, of disrespecting her by flaunting his new company while she was still healing. Common's supporters countered that he had every right to find happiness after what they called an emotionally draining relationship. The whispers became headlines. And suddenly the breakup wasn't just about two people, it was about loyalty, timing, and whether either of them had truly respected what they once shared. And this was only the beginning of the revelations still to come, as more secrets threatened to unravel everything they had built together. The rumors of Common being spotted with the actress spread like wildfire, and within hours, social media had turned it into a full-blown scandal. Fans were dissecting every photo, zooming in on every detail, speculating about body language and hidden glances. "Look at the way he's leaning in, that's not just dinner talk," one fan tweeted, while another argued, "He's finally free to enjoy his life without drama." But for Jennifer, this was not just gossip, it was humiliation served on a public platter. Friends close to her revealed that when she saw the pictures, she broke down in tears, not because she thought Common had cheated, but because of the speed at which he seemed to move on. "How can someone who claimed to love me be smiling with someone else so soon?" she confided to a close friend, her voice shaking with disbelief. Jennifer had built walls to protect herself, but this moment felt like betrayal all over again, reopening wounds that had barely begun to heal. Common, on the other hand, insisted to his inner circle that the dinner was innocent, a business conversation that happened to get caught in the wrong light. "They want to turn a meal into a marriage proposal," he joked bitterly during a late-night call with a friend. But even as he tried to brush it off, he couldn't deny the damage it was causing. The press had painted him as the villain, and no amount of denial could erase the narrative that he was the one who had broken. Jennifer's heart. The tension escalated when Jennifer was booked for a talk show appearance, just days after the scandal broke. Everyone expected her to stay professional, but the host couldn't resist poking at the situation. "So, Jennifer," the host began with a sly smile, "how do you feel about your ex being spotted out on what looks like a date?" The audience gasped, waiting for her reaction. Jennifer forced a laugh, but the hurt flickered across her face. "Let's just say," she replied carefully, "I've learned that not everyone's definition of love matches their words." The audience erupted into sympathetic applause, but those who knew her best could tell this was a dagger cloaked in a smile. Fans rallied behind her, flooding social media with messages of support. Hashtags like #TeamJennifer and #SheDeservesBetter started trending, painting Common as the heartless ex who couldn't wait to replace her. Meanwhile, Common's supporters launched their own counter-narrative, arguing that Jennifer was playing the victim while he was simply trying to move forward. The fan war grew so intense that it spilled into their professional worlds. with audiences at events even chanting Jennifer's name when Common took the stage. The drama between them wasn't just personal anymore. It had become a cultural debate, dividing fans, friends, and even fellow celebrities. Some industry insiders weighed in, with one R&B singer posting, "Sometimes two strong souls just clash, and love alone can't fix it." Others weren't so diplomatic, openly criticizing Common for what they saw as a pattern of failed high-profile relationships. Climax came when a close friend of Jennifer leaked shocking claims that during their relationship, Common had been emotionally distant, often disappearing for days without explanation. The friend alleged that Jennifer had begged him to be more present, but he always found excuses. She felt like she was in a relationship with a ghost, the friend told a gossip outlet. The story blew up, painting Common in an even darker light as someone who never truly gave his all to Jennifer. Common, furious over the leak, confronted Jennifer through a heated phone call. "You're letting people speak lies about me," he shouted, his voice breaking through the static. Jennifer, equally enraged, snapped back, "Maybe if you'd been the man I needed, there wouldn't be anything to leak." The call ended with both of them slamming their phones down, their relationship reduced to fragments of anger and disappointment. As more revelations surfaced, fans discovered alleged text exchanges between Jennifer and her closest confidants, where she confessed she had felt belittled by Common's attitude toward her career. "He acted like I was too busy for him," one of the messages read, "but when I slowed down for us, he still wasn't there." These words struck a chord with many, as they highlighted a power struggle that had always been lurking beneath their romance. Their families, already divided, were now caught in the crossfire of public perception. Jennifer's relatives began giving cryptic interviews, with one cousin saying she gave him everything and he gave her excuses. On the other side, Common's family stayed mostly quiet, but an anonymous source close to them insisted he had been misunderstood, that he simply wasn't ready for the kind of commitment Jennifer demanded. The silence, however, only fueled more speculation, leaving fans to piece together their own versions of the truth. But just when everyone thought the scandal had reached its peak, another bombshell dropped. A former associate of Common's hinted that there was more to his decision to leave Jennifer than anyone knew. In a cryptic post, the associate wrote, "People think it was about arguments, but it was about survival. Sometimes you walk away to save yourself." The vague statement sent fans into a frenzy, with countless theories emerging. What exactly had Common been trying to survive? Was it the relationship itself, or was there something darker behind the scenes? Jennifer, meanwhile, used her pain as fuel for her craft. She began performing with a raw intensity that fans hadn't seen in years, belting out ballads with tears in her eyes and dedicating songs to anyone who's ever been broken but refused to stay down. Audiences wept with her, seeing their own heartbreak reflected in her voice. Common, too, wasn't down with the narrative. He started hinting in interviews that he might one day tell the whole story through a project of his own. This thinly veiled threat left fans on edge, wondering what skeletons still remained locked away. And just when it seemed the dust might settle, whispers of betrayal and unresolved truths promised that the story was far from over. The whispers grew louder, and soon the media was abuzz with new theories about what Common had meant when he suggested his relationship with Jennifer Hudson had been about survival. Fans speculated endlessly. Was he hinting at toxic dynamics? Or was it something deeper, something he couldn't yet reveal without tearing both of their reputations apart? Blogs turned out headlines every hour, feeding the frenzy. Common breaks silence. Hidden secrets of Common and Jennifer's breakup. Was Jennifer too controlling? Each article only heightened the tension, painting pictures that blurred the lines between fact and speculation. Behind the scenes, Jennifer felt increasingly cornered. To her, Common's vague comments felt like daggers, like he was carefully planting seeds of doubt about her character without ever fully taking responsibility for his actions. "He knows how to twist words," she confided to a close friend. Late one night, "He makes it sound like he was the victim when he knows exactly what he did to me." She was exhausted, not only from the heartbreak, but also from constantly having to defend her side of the story in a battle that played out in the court of public opinion. Common, meanwhile, wrestled with his own demons. Privately, he admitted to his inner circle that he did love Jennifer deeply, but he also confessed he felt suffocated by the expectations that came with being in such a high-profile relationship. It wasn't just her, he explained during a heart-to-heart with a fellow musician. It was the weight of the spotlight, the demands, the endless comparisons. I wanted peace, but instead I felt like I was drowning. The confession didn't excuse his actions, but it offered a glimpse into the turmoil that had driven him to walk away. As the drama unfolded, fans began to demand answers directly from both stars. Whenever Jennifer appeared at events, paparazzi shouted questions about Common, hoping to catch a fiery response. When Common walked red carpets, reporters pressed him about Jennifer, and though he tried to remain composed, his eyes betrayed the storm inside. "I'll tell my truth when the time is right," he said at one premiere, a statement that only added fuel to the speculation. Family members, already dragged into the mess, found themselves even more divided. Jennifer's sister reportedly told friends that Common had manipulated public perception to make Jennifer look unstable, while Common's cousin countered that Jennifer was playing the victim to win sympathy. The feud spilled over onto social media, where cryptic posts from relatives on both sides added new layers of drama. "Some people know how to perform pain for the cameras," one post read, which fans quickly linked back to Jennifer. In response, one of her cousins posted, "Truth doesn't need theatrics, it shines on its own," which fans linked back to Common. But the real shock came when an old recording surfaced, an alleged phone conversation between Common and a close friend during the final weeks of his relationship with Jennifer. In the recording, which spread rapidly online, Common could be heard saying, "She deserves better than what I can give her right now. I'm not built for this kind of love. I thought I was, but I'm not." Fans were stunned. On one hand, it made him sound regretful and human, but on the other hand, it confirmed that he had knowingly stayed in a relationship he couldn't fully commit to, leaving Jennifer to fight for something doomed from the start. Jennifer, upon hearing the leak, reportedly broke down again, so he knew all along. She whispered to her friend, tears streaming down her face, "He let me pour my soul into this while he was already planning his exit?" Her devastation was palpable, and when she finally addressed the issue publicly, she did so with raw vulnerability. "I gave my heart to someone who wasn't ready to hold it," she told a live audience during one of her performances. The crowd roared with empathy, many shouting words of encouragement and love. The industry itself began to take sides. Some celebrities rallied behind Jennifer, praising her strength and resilience. One actress tweeted, "Jennifer is the definition of grace under fire. Don't let anyone twist the narrative." Meanwhile, a few others defended Common, arguing that it was better for him to leave than to pretend. "Sometimes honesty looks like heartbreak," one rapper posted, sparking debates across social media platforms. The back and forth reached a boiling point when both Common and Jennifer were booked for the same charity event. Fans eagerly awaited the moment they might share a stage or even exchange words. Tension was thick in the air as photographers jockeyed for position, hoping to capture the reunion. When Jennifer arrived, she dazzled in an elegant gown, exuding confidence despite the pain. Common arrived shortly after, looking sharp but clearly uneasy. When the two locked eyes across the room, witnesses described the energy as electric and heartbreaking all at once. Though they never publicly interacted that night, cameras caught Jennifer briefly turning away, her expression unreadable, while Common lowered his gaze. Unable to meet her stare. After the event, speculation reached new heights. Fans dissected every photo, interpreting their body language as signs of unresolved love, bitterness, or even lingering hope. "He still loves her," one fan insisted on Twitter. "Look at how he couldn't even look her in the eye." Others disagreed, arguing that Jennifer's refusal to engage showed she'd moved on for good. Yet, behind closed doors, sources claimed the two did share a brief, private exchange. Away from the cameras, Common reportedly approached Jennifer, his voice soft and hesitant. "I never wanted to hurt you," he murmured. Jennifer, her eyes filled with tears, replied, "You didn't just hurt me, you broke me." Those words hung heavy in the air, leaving both of them shaken. The story might have ended there, but then came the biggest twist of all. Rumors began swirling that Common was preparing a memoir, one in which he intended to tell the truth about love, heartbreak, and growth. Insiders hinted that the book would include details about his relationship with Jennifer, details that could either vindicate him or shatter her even further. The possibility of their private struggles becoming permanent public record sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Jennifer, when asked about the memoir, offered a pointed response. If telling his truth means rewriting mine, then the world should be ready to hear my side too. Her words sent fans into a frenzy, sparking speculation that she might release her own project and album, a memoir, or perhaps both, laying bare her side of the story once and for all. As the dust settled, one thing became clear. The breakup between Common and Jennifer Hudson was no ordinary split. It had evolved into a saga of love, betrayal, survival, and truth-telling, with both stars carrying scars that would shape their futures. Fans, left stunned by every twist and turn, were more invested than ever, waiting for the next chapter in a story that seemed destined to never fully close. As the dust from this explosive breakup continues to swirl, one question remains. Did Common truly walk away because he wasn't ready for the kind of love Jennifer Hudson offered? Or is there a deeper truth still hidden beneath the surface? Fans are divided. Some see his confessions as honesty, while others believe he's shifting the blame to protect his image. Jennifer's pain, her raw words on stage, and her resilience in the face of heartbreak have only made her supporters rally around her more fiercely. And now, with whispers of Common's upcoming memoir and hints that Jennifer might share her side in an album or book of her own, the drama is far from over. What happens when two powerful voices, both respected and admired, collide in the court of public opinion? Is reconciliation even possible, or have the wounds cut too deep? And perhaps the biggest question, when both finally decide to speak their truths in full, whose story will the world believe? This saga has been filled with unexpected twists, tears, betrayals, and shocking revelations that no one saw coming. And while the spotlight continues to shine on both stars, one thing is clear: the world isn't ready to stop watching, listening, and speculating. Now it's over to you. What do you think really caused the breakup between Common and Jennifer Hudson? Do you believe Common when he says he simply wasn't ready, or do you think Jennifer's claims of betrayal tell the real story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear every perspective. Don't forget to like this video if you were shocked by today's revelations. Subscribe to the channel for more exclusive drama, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next update in this ongoing story. Trust us, this is one saga you'll want to stay tuned for.